President Trump called on congressional Democrats Friday to send $300 billion in unspent stimulus money to Americans in need, saying it's better than giving checks to illegal aliens. Mr. Trump said in a press briefing at the White House, "We have $300 billion in an account that we didn't use. I would be willing to release it, subject to Congress, and use that as stimulus money. It's there. Just let that money be released to the American people." Negotiations on a new economic relief bill of more than $1 trillion have been stalled in Congress. And on Friday, the government reported that the unemployment rate plummeted to 8.4% in August from 10.2% a month earlier. The president seemed to suggest that the leftover aid from legislation approved in March would be sufficient instead, saying the $300 billion is sitting in an account that we didn't need because things are going so well with the economy. His comments indicated that it could be used for direct payments similar to the $1,200 checks that were delivered to most taxpayers in the spring. President Trump also said he investigated whether he could spend the money without congressional approval, but said, "I guess I'm not allowed to do that." Mr. President said, "It would be a very appropriate thing to release that to the American people, and I am willing to do it. All we need is a sign-off." He said it would avoid Democratic demands such as providing aid to illegal immigrants. He said, "We're not going to give stimulus checks to illegal aliens. They came into the country illegally, and now we give them a check. We want to give the checks to the American people. Just let that money get released to the American people." House Democrats who served in the armed forces harshly criticized the Trump administration's decision to pull the plug on the Stars and Stripes news outlet, and vowed to fight to keep the military newspaper funded. Representative Ted Lieu told reporters on a press call, "I read it on active duty when I served in Guam, and it is something that is improving the quality of life for military families and military personnel, and I cannot understand why we would get rid of the Stars and Stripes." Defense Secretary Mark Esper said the $15.5 million typically set aside for the independent newspaper needed to be reallocated to more critical programs at the Pentagon. The money was left out of the department's annual budget request this year, and officials on Capitol Hill said there was a request to cease publishing Stars and Stripes by September 30 and completely dissolve the paper by the end of January. USA Today reported on Friday that the Pentagon circulated a memo saying the paper will implement a shutdown plan by September 15. Despite the story relying on unnamed sources, the Democratic lawmakers said it fit with a pattern of President Trump disrespecting others who sacrificed, like the late Senator John McCain and the Gold Star Khan family, who lost their son in the line of duty.